Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all healthy and safe at home. So we'll just continue with our section 9.3, curvature and components of acceleration. So in the previous class, we had discussed about the formula of a curvature, and we discussed two components of acceleration. One was the tangential component, the other was the normal component. So in this section, we are going to introduce another unit normal vector, that is using the unit vectors which we had done before. One was the unit tangent vector, and the other the principal normal n of t. So using these two units vector, we are going to define the binormal, which is denoted by b of t, and it is given as a cross product of the unit tangent and the principal normal. That is, b of t is equal to t of t cross n of t. So there are various terms based on these vectors. We have the plane containing t and n forms the osculating plane, the plane containing b and n forms the normal plane, and the plane containing t and b forms the rectifying plane. So if you see in your textbook, it's clearly given with the figure. You can see that in this figure you can see that if we have a curve C, then we have a point. If you consider point P, the normal will be n, the tangent will be t, and then b will be the cross product of t and n, that will be in the upward direction. So these three unit vectors t, n and b, they form a right-handed set of mutually orthogonal vectors. You can see clearly that they are mutually orthogonal, and they are called the moving trihedral. And these are the planes that we discussed before. That is, the plane of t and n is called the osculating plane, the plane of n and b is called the normal plane, and the plane of t and b is called the rectifying plane. Now we said that these three vectors, unit vectors, are mutually orthogonal, so they can be considered as a coordinate system. Okay, like xyz, we can also consider them as a coordinate system. Like b of t will be t cross n, n will be b cross t, and t will be n cross b, since they are mutually orthogonal. And this movable coordinate system is referred to as the t and b frame. Next, we'll do an example. The example is to find the vectors t, n and b, and also the curvature of the particle whose position is given by r of t is equal to 2 cos ti plus 2 sin tj plus 3 tk. Now by r of t, we can find r dash of t, that will be the derivative, that is minus 2 sin ti plus 2 cos tj plus 3k. And what will be the magnitude? The magnitude will be 4 square, 2 square plus 3 square, that is root of 13. So the unit tangent will be r dash of t divided by magnitude of r dash of t, that is minus 2 sin ti plus 2 cos tj plus 3k whole divided by root 13, and we get that is equal to minus 2 by root 13 sin ti plus 2 by root 13 cos tj plus 3 by root 13 k. So we found capital T. Now we need to find n of t, the principal normal, and the principal normal is t dash of t divided by magnitude of t dash of t. So what will be t dash of t? That is the derivative of this expression, that is nothing other than minus 2 by 13 root 13 cos ti minus 2 by root 13 sin tj, and this is a constant, so that becomes 0. And what will be the magnitude? The magnitude will be 2 square by root 13 square whole root, that is 2 by root 13. So the normal vector will be dt by dt divided by magnitude of dt by dt, that is none other than 2 by root 13 gets cancelled, so we get minus cos ti minus sin tj. Next, what do we have to find? We have to find the binormal. The binormal is given by the formula t cross n, that is we have found t and we have found the principal normal n, and using the cross product we can find the binormal, and that is 3 by root 13 sin t I minus 3 by root 13 cos tj plus 2 by root 13 k. Now we know that we are also asked to find the curvature. So how can we find the curvature? We can find curvature using the formula of magnitude of dt by dt divided by magnitude of r dash of t. We had derived a formula for the curvature kappa is equal to magnitude of dt by dt divided by magnitude of r dash of t. Now we know magnitude of dt by dt is 2 by root 13 and magnitude of r dash of t, t is root 13. So combining we'll get the curvature kappa is equal to 2 by root 13 divided by root 13, that is 2 by 13. So the question was pretty much simple. Using r of t we can find t, n and b. The formula for t is r dash of t divided by magnitude of r dash of t. For n is, once we have found the unit tangent, we can find the unit normal by t dash of t divided by magnitude of t dash of t. And the binormal is the cross product of the unit tangent and the unit normal. And finally the curvature is magnitude of t dash of t divided by magnitude of r dash of t. Now next is we are going to do a problem how to find the planes that we had defined in this section, that is the oscillating plane, the normal plane and the rectifying plane. Now we are given a point t, that is t is equal to pi by 2, and the circular helix mentioned in the previous example, that is 2 cos t I plus 2 sin t j plus 3 t k. That was the previous example that we did. Now we need to find an equation for the oscillating plane, the normal plane and the rectifying plane. So first of all, using the point, using r of t is equal to 2 cos t I plus 2 sin t j plus 3 t k, we are going to find what is r of pi by 2. What will be r of pi by 2? R of pi by 2 will be equal to 0, 2 and 3 pi by 2. Just substituting the value of t equal to pi by 2, you will get r of pi by 2 is none other than the vector 0, 2, 3 pi by 2 or 0i plus 2j plus 3 pi by 2k. So the point P is 0, 2 and 3 pi by 2. Now we can find the normal vector for at this point, normal vector to the oscillating plane. What is the oscillating plane? The oscillating plane is a plane containing the unit tangent and the unit normal. Okay, and we know that these three vectors are mutually orthogonal. So if we consider the plane containing, we can refer the figure. If we consider the plane containing t and n, b will be normal to it, right? And if we consider the plane containing b and t, n will be normal to it. And if we consider the plane containing b and n, t will be normal to it. So with the help of this fact, what we are going to do is we are going to find b of pi by 2. Okay, what is b of pi by 2? We are just going to substitute the value t is equal to pi by 2 in the b of t that we have done in the previous example. Now using this point P and the point b of pi by 2, we are going to use the point normal form to find the equation of the required plane. Okay, once we have a point in that particular plane, that is P, and we have the point or the point of the normal, we have the equation of the normal. So in this case we are considering the oscillating plane, that is the plane containing t and n, and b is normal to this plane. So using the normal equation and the point P, we are going to find the equation of the oscillating plane, that is the plane containing t and n. So the point P is 0, 2 and 3 pi by 2, and b of pi by 2 is 3 by root 13i plus 2 by root 13k. So to define a plane, we are not going to consider the unit normal case. So we are just going to consider the points 3, 0 and 2. Okay, we are just removing this magnitude over there. So we will consider the point b of pi by 2 to be the normal to be the vector 3, 0 and 2. Now using this point and the point which is given which we have found, we are going to find the equation of the plane. The equation of the plane will be none other than 3 into x minus 0 plus 0 into y minus 2 plus 2 into z minus 3 by 2. Okay, we are given the equation of a normal, that is 3i plus 0j plus 2k, and we have a point 0, 2 and 3 pi by 2 using point normal form. You can refer it, it is there in the PDF of the textbook section 7.5 and 11. You guys must be remembering it, but you can just recall it. It will be 3 into x minus 0 plus 0 into y minus 2 plus 2 into z minus 3 pi by 2 equal to 0. So this will be the equation of the osculating plane. You can simplify it and find. Now in a similar manner, we need to find the normal plane. What is the normal plane? The normal plane is the plane containing n and b. Okay, normal plane is a plane containing n and b. So what will be the normal vector to that particular plane? It will be the vector t. So we'll find t of pi by 2, and that will be 1 by root 3 minus 2i plus 0j plus 3 by root 13k. So avoiding this unit magnitude part, we'll simplify it and consider the point minus 2, 0 and 3. So this is the normal to the plane containing n of pi by 2 and b of pi by 2. And using this and the point that we have found, we'll form the equation of the normal. And similarly, we can find the equation of the rectifying plane. The rectifying plane is none other than the plane containing t and b. So what will be the normal to this plane? It will be the principal normal. So we will find n of pi by 2, which is nothing other than the vector 0i minus j plus 0k. We are simplifying it, and that will be the normal to the plane containing t and b. So the equation of the rectifying plane will be as given. So you can refer figure and 9.3.5. Now next we are moving on to the formulas of AT, AN and curvature. See, AT and AN are basically the components of acceleration and the curvature. So we have done, or we have already defined what is the tangential component, what is the normal component, what is the curvature. But in this portion or in this section, what we are going to do is we are going to define it with the help of the position vector and its higher derivatives. So let us see how we can do that. Okay. Now we know a of t, or a, is equal to a and n, that is the normal component, and the tangential component into t. What we are going to do is we are going to take first the dot product of v with a, where v is given by is none other than r dash of t, or we can write this in terms of small v into t, where small v was that is, I'm just recalling, small v was considered to be magnitude of r dash of t, and t was none other than r dash of t by magnitude of r dash of t. So combining these, we'll get v of t, that is the r dash of t is v into small v into t. Now what will this be? This will be equal to a n into a into t into n plus at into v into t dot t, using this, opening this dot product. So what is the value of t dot n and t dot t? T dot n, they are mutually orthogonal, so this will be equal to 0, and t dot t is 1. So in turn we have a t into v. Okay, this is the capital V. Note, I'm just making it capital V, and this was small v, which is magnitude of r dash of t. So this is at into v. Now from this, what do we get? We get at is equal to v dot a by, capital V dot A by magnitude of V, right? Because it was small v, 18 to V. So this is none other than R dash of T dot R double dash of T whole divided by magnitude of R dash of T. I hope it's clear. Now next, what we are going to do is we are going to again consider the acceleration, that is A is equal to A n into n plus A t into t, and what we are going to do is we are going to take the cross product of the velocity vector and the acceleration vector. So that will be V cross A n n plus A t t. Again we will substitute V is equal to small v into t. So what do we get? Into an plus at into v t cross t. Now using cross product, what will this value be? This value is, we know t cross n is b. Notice this value, t cross t is 0. So from this, what do we get? We get that capital V cross A is equal to A n into V into B. Or what do we have? We have that A n will be none other than magnitude of V cross A by magnitude of V into B. Now we know magnitude of B is 1 because it is unit normal. It is a unit vector. So we have this as V cross A by magnitude of V. So this is none other than R dash of T cross R double dash of T whole divided by magnitude of R dash of T. So we have defined both A of T and A of N in terms of R of T and R dash of T. Now let's go to kappa of T, that is the curvature. Now we know that the curvature will be magnitude of V cross A by magnitude of V whole cube using what A n is equal to kappa into V square. We know that A n, that is a normal component, is given by kappa into V square, and we did that the normal component was none other than V cross A, magnitude of V cross A by magnitude of V. So from this, what do we get? Kappa is equal to magnitude of V cross A by magnitude of V whole cube. So I hope it's clear to you. Now we can see that what we did was we did the components of, we solved the definition of the components of acceleration in terms of R dash of T and R of T. So clearly AT is given by, we had done before that AT was none other than dV by dt. So that is R dash of T dot R double dash of T by magnitude of R dash of T, and an was kappa into V square. So that is none other than R dash of T cross R double dash of T divided by magnitude of R dash of T. So there is just the difference between dot product and cross product. So just keep this in mind. So now let's see another example which depicts the same. So we can see that in example 4 we are asked to find the tangential, normal components and the curvature. So we are given the curve R of T is equal to Ti plus 1 by 2 T square J plus 1 by 3 T cube K. It is called the twisted cubic. So just keep that in mind. So what we have to find? We have to find A the tangential component, that is AT, the normal component, that is AN, and kappa. So how can we do that? To find the tangential component, we have magnitude of r dash of t dot r double dash of t divided by magnitude of r dash of t. So we can find r dash of t, that is I plus tj plus t square k, and what will be r double dash of t? It will be, this is 0I plus j plus 2t k. Then we will find magnitude of r dash of t dot r double dash of t, or we can find, here was first we are calculating as a n. So what we'll do is we'll find v dot a. V dot a will be none other than t plus 2t cube, and its magnitude of v is root of 1 plus t square plus t raised to 4. So at will be t plus 2t cube divided by root of 1 plus t square plus t raised to 4. Now what is b cross a? Cross product will be t square I minus 2tj plus k, and the magnitude will be none other than root of t raised to 4 plus 4t square plus 1. So an will be root of t raised to 4 plus 4t square plus 1 whole divided by root of 1 plus t square plus t raised to 4. So they are just writing it in a simplified form, and the curvature will be, what will it be? It will be root of t raised to 4 plus 4t square plus 1 by 1 whole divided by the root of t raised to 4 plus t square plus 1 whole cube. So this concept is, it's just direct application of the formula that we did. Once we know r of t, we can find r dash and r double dash, and using this we can find what is the tangential component of acceleration, the normal component, and the curvature. Now next we are moving on to the definition of radius of curvature. It is nothing other than the reciprocal of the curvature kappa. The reciprocal of the curvature rho is equal to 1 by k is called the radius of the curvature. And it is basically, if you consider the curve C and a point P, the radius of curvature at that point is actually the radius of the circle that actually fits the curve. Okay, it must be the best circle which fits that curve. So it is the radius of that circle, and that circle at P is called the circle of curvature, and its center is called the center of curvature. So you can see it in the picture clearly. C is the curve and P is the point. We have to find a circle which actually fits at that particular curve. So that's it for today's session. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.